everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bayou Beat Podcast. I'm David, Instagram handle Buddha Cholo, here with another group of musicians, local guys here. I hate myself and I want to die. So if everybody could kind of go around and introduce yourselves and say who you are, let everybody know who you are.
I'm Omar Compian. I'm rhythm guitarist / lead guitarist, lead vocalist.
I'm Aiden and I'm the bassist.
I'm Devin, I'm the drummer.
I'm Joseph and I'm the lead guitarist / rhythm guitarist.
All right, cool. I did hear your last podcast, the one y'all guys did. It was an audio only podcast, and so but it was good. I listened to the whole thing. It was good. And I kind of want to maybe not go over the exact same stuff that y'all talked about over there, but since then y'all had the show at Acadia, right? That was before the Acadia show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then right now y'all have a show coming up in July at the compound. No, at the end. At the end. So that's going to be in July. So we are in April.
2 more months.
We're mid-April. So, yeah. So that's cool. Y'all got something kind of out there. And then also y'all are in the recording studio right now.
Yes,
Yes.
we're recording our second installment.
This might be the last week for recording.
Maybe.
We might be done with the album soon.
It's all up to Aiden.
Soon. It's very soon.
Oh.
But it's going to be a really good album. It's full of non-stop. I would say like the album kind of reminds me of just like having like one mood throughout the whole song. It's just like one listen because it's just non-stop action.
Oh yeah.
A lot of variety.
It's a lot of variety. Yeah, I think it's a very drastic change, but it's a good change from our first album. Our first album is more slowcore, but this album is
something new.
Yeah, it's something a lot different, but it still gives off the same feeling, I guess.
You can tell it's I hate myself and I want to die.
Yeah. I heard a little bit of some of the tracks, the rough tracks, and it does sound a lot more upbeat, which is kind of funny because your first album, and then this one, it really does sound very different because y'all are going like faster, more punk, more towards that stuff, and. Which is cool, I think a lot of the people that know you from more of the slower stuff. And but
they like our new stuff.
So is there something specifically that made y'all want to go in that direction, or was that thought of, or it just happened?
Influences. A lot of influences.
Here's the thing. We actually wanted to start out as a punk band, but it was sort of my idea to do the slowcore album because I wrote a lot of slowcores, so we're definitely not going to stop doing the slowcore because a lot of people like the slowcore, so we're definitely going to do a little bit of variety, a little bit of punk, a little bit of, all sorts of shit, but like switch it up a little bit with this album. We're definitely going to release some more slowcore. We didn't put a complete halt to that, but if people like the punk, we'll continue doing the punk, and if they like the slowcore, we'll continue, just adding a lot of variety to our the music.
The idea for this album that we're doing, the original idea was that it was going to be very, there's going to be a lot of variety. It's going to be the slowcore, including the fast course or the fast music stuff. But we just decided to do one album specifically only for the fast stuff instead of combining and trying to have an album full of multiple genres. Because that was the original idea.
We kind of wanted to have we kind of wanted to express ourselves fully. We wanted to have all of our sound, all of our songwriting into one album, but we kind of thought maybe each album should express our sound differently. So maybe this album,
a different story.
Yeah, basically our first album, Sarah, is sad, soulcore. Then we have this upcoming album, punk, upbeat, like you said. And maybe for our next album, we just do something completely different, or we just go back.
Heavy metal.
Fuck. Or maybe.
Yeah, heavy metal album.
Maybe.
Yeah. Have y'all came up with the name for the album yet?
No.
We don't even have an album cover, but we should have some.
Ain't no Probe Chronicles.
No, no fuck, no.
What was that?
Ain't no Probe Chronicles. We'll have something by it.
We'll have something before it releases.
Yeah. I mean, from my experience, it's good to have both because when you have a show, it really kind of depends on the audience.
Mhm.
Like if you have an audience that's more chill, then y'all could play more of the slow stuff. If you're following a bunch of punk bands, you want to have a set that's just full of energy.
Yeah.
But full of energy doesn't fit with everything. Sometimes if it's like more of a family event, you kind of want to tone it down a bit. So it's good to have a variety.
Yeah, variety.
Don't make them cry with the music.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we were going for with Sarah, but it's sad. I don't know if you would cry to it. Yeah.
Depends on your mood.
Yeah. Well, and actually, some of the people that I was around that listen to y'all music, it's like good chill music.
Yeah.
Like you're hanging out at the house. You're not necessarily like jumping up and down partying. Maybe you're just having like a chill moment. It's yes. I was at one of my friends' house, and then they were playing y'all's music. And it was just like, oh, it's good, like chill music, just
Yeah.
hang out. The first album, Sarah.
Yeah, like
It's
having
like,
as background
like
noise.
background,
Yeah,
background music.
It is, just you're having dinner or you're hanging out with your buddies and having a conversation. You don't necessarily want somebody jumping up and down yelling. It's just chill.
Yeah,
Hang out, at the beach, relaxing type of stuff.
Yeah, we kind of thought about that too. We kind of want, if you like Sarah, if you like one song of it, you're gonna like the whole album, because there's this website for albums, like for people to review albums, and we had a comment on there. It wasn't really like a hate comment. It was just calling our fucking album like
Yeah, that comment stuck to you.
whatever, man. But like he was saying basically that like the whole album like is basically just one whole big song, because it sounds like the exact fucking same. I mean, obviously they're all different songs, but they do have the same feeling, the same sound,
like
same
the same
everything.
beat.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't that funny though? Like there could be 100 good comments, but that one bad comment, it's
It's-
just like
Yeah,
you
that
just can't
shit
get it
sticks out.
out.
No.
You're just like
Yeah.
that's just how we are for some reason, and that's why people like to leave bad comments, because they're like hoping it gets under their skin, and
Yeah.
But at the same time, me personally, I like albums where the band, like all of their tracks are different. Like there is some bands where you like put it on and like that one hit song, their whole album sounds like that one song.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, and I love bands that you put on a song and then you hear another song and you're like, is that the same band? Like how is that even possible?
Yeah.
Because it kind of like, it's more of an experience you go through and you're listening to different genres and stuff like that. But I mean, I like y'all's idea of doing an album that's kind of a genre, because we do live in a time where you could literally release an album every other month if you wanted to.
Yeah.
The access to releasing albums and studios. I mean, you could. It's not like it used to be where you have to release an album once a year or something. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So as far as where y'all see your plans, like your goals, right? You have the show in July. Has all of the stuff that's been happening as far as recording or these new shows kind of made any of y'all like sort of think about this like in a different way, a little bit more seriously than maybe you did whenever you first started out, or just as far as like just getting in front in the stage and seeing a venue like Acadia and being like, oh dang, and knowing that there's all these other venues, is it has any of y'all like really kind of thought about this thing a little bit more, I don't know, seriously?
Yeah.
Or
I
Yeah.
get what you mean.
Yeah, most
like,
definitely.
Definitely.
I'd like to say we're all committed and we all put our band first before everything, because we want this to work out. We want to be, millionaires in the future. So yeah, we all prioritize the band. We definitely take this seriously, and we want to, be committed, and we are committed.
Yeah.
We prioritize the band over anything. So yeah.
For this, working at the studio definitely made me feel more committed. I remember because the producer
Yeah, you told me
Jimmy
Yeah.
record with Neto or Nito record Jimmy. He's a great producer, and he made me realize that like there's a lot more jobs out there in the music industry, and that there's being recording artist isn't the only thing. But he gave me some tips and he gave me insight. He knows what he's doing with his stuff, and it makes me realize that like you have to be the guy. Like you can't just like, if you want to make it your life, you can't do it just as a hobby. You have to dedicate to it, and then learn every aspect of it so you can be that guy rather than just, you know, like, not like, you want to be the first option. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Honestly, like,
He's just thinking about it.
He doesn't know what to say.
He doesn't know what to say.
like dropping like half of my money on new equipment made me
Yeah.
realize like I would never do this if I wasn't serious about it.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just buy clothes, honestly.
We'd all rather do different things with our money, but this music shit definitely made us change that mindset. Because if we got a paycheck and we weren't serious about this band shit, we'd like, oh, say like, oh fuck, I got $1,000, but you know, if I keep doing this, I'll get more. But like, if we weren't committed, we just spend all that fucking money on whatever else
Fucking
and give up on music.
clothes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but if we
How
were
much have we
committed,
made?
we'd spend most of that money on equipment or shit to like help us, you know, get more money. Because if you got that first paycheck, any other person that's not committed would be like, oh shit, cool, I'm gonna go spend it on whatever, like fucking clothes or whatever. But if like you want to keep going, you're committed, you'd spend it on shit to make you look committed. You'd buy new equipment, you'd pay for studio sessions, you do all sorts of shit for the music. You'd be committed.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing, Devin, does that microphone have an off switch?
Yes.
Turn it off. Thank you. Yeah, whenever you talk, you can turn it on.
You
'cause
heard that too?
Yeah, it's like making
Yeah.
noise. It's way better. Thank you. Whenever you're gonna talk, you can turn it on. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's better because it kind of was making some noise. All right. No, but I mean, I'm listening to you, and you're 100% right.
Yeah.
You know. But let me just get this clear. You were saying that you had to spend money on gear, but if you could have spent it on clothes, you would have rather spent it on clothes.
But yeah.
Is that what you said? I mean, I was just like,
Like if I wasn't committed,
yeah.
like how do I explain it? Like I'd rather, if I wasn't committed, spend all of my money on clothes rather than new gear. Like I'd be fine with the current stuff I have right now, but I thought about it and like one singular combo amp is just not gonna cut it. So I'd
One
rather
what?
like a combo amp.
Okay, right.
Like
Yeah.
that's just not gonna cut it. So just upgrade equipment, which is half. I spent half of my money.
Right. But like you're saying, if I wasn't committed, then I wouldn't be doing that.
I wouldn't have
Yeah.
brought it.
But that kind of like tells you like I must be committed. Yeah.
And especially like the studio sessions, like
Hell
I'd
yeah.
rather just not.
We'd rather
pay it.
just not pay for that shit, but we're doing it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it.
We
Right.
basically spent like 80% of all the money we have on that bullshit. It's not bullshit though. It's like real shit. It's
Yeah.
good shit. That's gonna help us get okay. So if we have like $5,000 right now,
But, like,
if we pursue music and we buy gear, we'd have like $1,000 right now. We spent basically all our money. But if you give it time, if you're committed and you keep pursuing music, you'll in time you'll get like 20,000 times more money than you first started out with.
Yeah, you get
Right.
everything back.
and we thought about it.
Yeah, we thought about it too. Yeah.
I mean, and you're right because you know, just on the subject of money, like, and there's something I've talked to Devin about before. But like, let's just say you throw a house party, right, a show,
Yeah.
and then you charge $10 at the door. You know, you get 30 people in there or whatever. You know, you make $300. You know, and you know, you're making that in a night, right? And that's if you charge $10, right? Like most shows, sometimes like they're $20, right? And you get 30 people in there, you're looking at $600.
Yeah.
You're making that in one day, you know, and that's in one day. If you throw multiple shows out the weekend, then you know, and the thing is, especially for you guys, because y'all are so young. Like whenever I was your guys' age, I would work 40 hours a week to make $200.
Yeah.
You know, minimum wage. I would take home $200 at the end of the week working 40 hours. You know, if you have a show and you know, you're able to charge or you know, make $100 in a day, you know, and you do work for 2 days, I'd much rather do shows for 2 days
Yeah.
and make $200 than have to work 40 hours. But you do have to kind of find your way in order to get to that point. Another thing is like merchandising. You know, that show like I did at Acadia, you sell 5 shirts, you made $100. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you know, stuff like that. I mean, there is kind of like this thing that you have to cross, but once you cross it, you know, once you have a show where 10 people show up, 20 people show up, you could then then you just kind of go from there. And so yeah, I mean there is a way to do it. Like in the band that I play with right now, we'll play some shows, and some shows will be $200, $400, $500, whatever it is, to play for an hour. For us, it's like we all have jobs and stuff, so we use that money for like traveling and Airbnbs and stuff like that, so it doesn't have to come out of our pockets. But for you guys, I mean, shit, if y'all could make $400 and everybody takes home $100, that'd be a great day,
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Yeah. Here's the thing about money too. We really, well, right now obviously we don't really care about the money, but to be honest, our main priority right now is just to get our art to the world. We just want to play music. We don't really care about the money. Obviously we need money, but it's not really relevant to us right now. Obviously in the future we're going to need to do this as a job, and we're going to need to get money for a living, because we're going to be broke.
Caring about the money is going to lead problems in the bands too.
Yeah, but we don't really care about the money right now. We just want to play music, and we want to show people our music. We want people to listen to our music. We don't really care if like 5 people listen to our music. If they listen to our music, that's fucking awesome. They listen to our music. And if 1,000, 1,000,000 people listen to our music, that's all we care about. But
you're just trying to make good music that people would want to listen to, or and that's another thing too. Like, I don't think that whole thing of like, let me try to make music that people might listen to, let me try to make something that's popular, like, because then it's not real. Like, to me, it's just like, do what you love, TikTok, and then somebody out there is gonna like it. Because I've always said that, like, for example, even like somebody like Tupac, there's people out there who hate rap and don't like it, and then you have people like George Strait, and there's some people that hate country. It's not for everybody. You do what you do, and then you find your people, and then that's it. Like,
there's always people. True. There's always a person for everything. Because some people might hate heavy metal, some people might love heavy metal, some people might hate black metal, some people might love black metal. It really depends on the person, and to be honest, we just want to have variety for everyone to listen to our music, because if there's a certain genre we want to make, well, here's our version of that genre. Here's some music that we wrote in that genre, and we want everyone to like our music. We want everyone to know our band. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we almost have 500 people listening to our music.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but to us it is.
Like,
definitely.
Imagine that's 500 real people that have lived their lives, and they have real lives outside of music.
That is pretty impressive, considering that y'all really have only done a few shows.
Yeah.
So it's not like y'all, and then all the shows y'all have done are only here in Houston. So it's not like y'all are like, So I mean, that is pretty impressive. But I think it's also a testament to the fact that y'all make music that people want to listen to, or that like. There's some music you put it on and you're like, but then whenever you're like, man, let that play, another track, stuff like that. And, like I said, I mean, I've showed my music to certain people, and then they just keep on listening to y'all, and it's just, they like it, Like, I like indie rock or, whatever it is, but.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
You want to say something?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're like,
I just think that's really good that, like, thinking about it in the underground scene, when you listen to someone's music that pops up like on Instagram, it's usually like, like kind of bad. And you'd be like, what the hell is this? And you immediately skip it.
Some people just go, oh, I love this song. What is it?
Yeah. I feel that's for our band. Like, our band's just like, we make music that people actually like, and this next album is gonna be a bunch of punk rockers listening to us.
Well, I will say this. I went to y'all's last show out here in Acadia, and it was a really good show. I mean, I was really impressed. There was parts in the show where I was like, man, this almost sounds like something off the radio. Yeah. Or, I mean, it really doesn't sound like a bunch of kids that are, teenagers and stuff, like.
Yeah, like still in school. Also, not even to mention, all of us are freshmen. Not all of us.
Well, no,
obviously Devin, but
most of us.
This band is made up of, like,
high school kids
that are the youngest high school kids. We're not even all seniors. We're all freshmen. We barely are like out of junior high.
Right.
That's crazy to think about too.
We have a couple of years, so we
I mean, big. That is true though, because I mean, there was times where y'all were playing, and I'm like, man, some of those kids up there are 15 years old, and it's just like, but y'all are doing it, and I went to y'all's first show and then the Acadia show, and I did notice the improvement.
Yeah.
And everything. Matter of fact, your dad was out, by the bar when I got there.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. Y'all were doing, I think, like a sound check or something. And he's like, man, oh no, or I think y'all were in your first song or something. And he goes, wow, like from the first show to this, it's such an improvement. And I was like, yeah, they sound way better. And he's like, oh man, like just things are just gonna get better from here,
Yeah.
You're real cool, man. Your dad's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. He is a fucking awesome dude. Yeah. Without my dad, this whole band shit wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't
really be possible.
Here's really the thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell. Okay, should we talk about the story of this?
Go for it, man.
All right, this is gonna be a long story.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, so it started off 6th grade. It was my birthday. Okay, this is when I first started playing guitar, and that day, I think it was because of my grades or something. My mom was mad at my dad. And she kept telling him, no, don't buy him nothing for Christmas, or not for Christmas, my fucking birthday, right? Fucking birthday present. And he was like, you know what? Like he didn't say this, but like fuck your mom, I'm gonna buy you something anyway. So I told him I kind of want a guitar. I kind of want to start playing guitar. He told me, all right, let's go to Guitar Center. So we went to Guitar Center. He bought me this. Okay, it was a trash guitar, but it wasn't bad at the time.
Strat.
What kind of guitar was it? What was it?
It was a white Squire Stratocaster.
All right.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's like $100 guitar.
It's like $100 guitar. Yep. I didn't even have an amp until like a year later.
Hold on. So you had an electric guitar
I had an electric
with no
guitar.
amp?
No amp.
Same for me.
How does that work? Really?
Yeah. Like
that's so wild. It
go,
doesn't make any sound without an amp.
I mean, it does, but it's really quiet. I would play in my room like in the middle of the night, so you could actually hear it. Like you couldn't hear it. Like,
but you would still practice without an amp.
Yeah, I would still practice.
That's interesting, man.
Actually, my first amp wasn't even a guitar amp. It was a fucking bass amp.
But that was a year later.
It was a year later.
So you've been practicing for a whole year, and then all of a sudden you plug this thing in.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
It worked. I was surprised it worked because it's been through like everything.
But man, when you plug it in and you turn it up and you're like, and you hear that, it's just so powerful.
It was so fucking awesome. And it was like a 30-watt amp, and I thought it was so fucking loud.
Yeah,
it's probably
exactly.
Yeah, I know.
And then you could turn up the gain and stuff.
Yeah, no, it didn't even have a gain. It was just volume, bass, treble, and middle.
Wow,
that's it. It was a bass amp.
And then now you just have like 300-watt cab.
That's funny.
Yeah. Your stack is almost as tall as you are.
It's almost as tall as me. It's taller than my mom. That's awesome. But okay, so that day that he bought me that guitar, he told me, I want you to learn that guitar. I want you to, practice it good every single day. I want you to make songs, And I didn't take it at like that seriously. Obviously, I knew how to play it a little bit like a year later, but I didn't start taking it seriously until me and Joseph. He's been knowing Nirvana and all that shit his whole life. I grew up with Mexican music. I never grew up with rock, but I kind of kickstarted his liking for Nirvana.
Again, right?
Yeah, again. And I got into Nirvana, and I was like, yo, what would it be like if we started a fucking band? And I told him, let's find a bass player. We never fucking found a bass player. Until I met this guy right here, my 9th grade.
Okay, 3 years later.
3 years later. We never found any band members that stuck.
Well,
all the band members that, like, were, like, kind of band members, they all, like,
flaked.
They all left. They all tried to betray us.
One singular band practice.
Yeah, one singular back practice. But ever since, like, I told him that we've just been nonstop on buying new gear, finding new members. Well, we obviously stopped finding new members because we got our people right here. This is, Aiden, bass player, Devin, the fucking drummer, and Joseph. He and
Omar. And Omar.
Yeah. But ever since that, we've just been nonstop on the music. Like, me and Joseph even have our own fucking little hyper pop EDM shit.
But I heard y'all talking about that on the last podcast. Yeah, y'all should send the link and we could put the link.
Fuck no, we want to forget about that shit. But we're kind of in a phase. After we kind of started wanting to start a band, we could never like move forward. We used to just play on my bass. Okay, I had my Squire, right? plugged into my bass amp, and I had him playing some shitty drum set. It's the same fucking drum set we have,
Yeah.
but
Same drum set.
it's dog shit ass drum set. It's good though, and we would just rehearse. And he was originally gonna be like, we were originally gonna be just a two-man band because we could never find members.
21 Pilots.
I was originally gonna be
So-
The Black Keys.
He was gonna be
the bassist.
drummer.
No.
and bassist. No, first of all, you were gonna be the drummer, and then we moved you onto the bassist so we could find a drummer. Never found a drummer until 9th grade, but like he never stuck though. Like there was no band
That's
practice.
Joel counts.
That's funny. You're like,
Yeah.
we didn't find a drummer till 9th grade, but you are in 9th grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
So a few months ago.
I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah, a couple months.
a couple months ago.
It's crazy where we've like everything we've done for those couple of months.
Right.
I know, right? We've had a
Yeah.
lot of progress since I met Aiden and I started 9th grade. High school really changed this shit because we
Yeah.
kind of gave up. Me and Joseph gave up on it like a couple months into the band shit because we could never find any members.
That's the
and,
reason
you know,
why we did the hyperpop.
That's
shit,
why we
'cause
did the hyperpop shit because we thought, oh, this shit's easier. I know how to. That's kind of where I got my producing, from because I learned how to produce from that, and I'm okay-ish at producing. Only that shit. I can't really
Bad.
produce anything else. Actually, funny thing, I still do this. I have this side project called Dead People, and I hate myself and I want to die. I produce all the music so far that's out right now.
What kind of genre is that?
It's the same fucking genre,
Yeah,
just
slowcore.
different music. It's more of my shit though. I produce on Google.
Oh yeah.
I use Soundtrap. It's this free like FL Studio y type shit on Google, and it's free. I use that to record the instrumentals. I get the instrumental. I put it into BandLab. It's another program to make music. I use the hyperpop on shit that mix the hyperpop shit on there too. And
when it comes to that, like for example, I have this certain songs that I did one time with a friend of mine. It was a project, and we put it out on SoundCloud, and we used an app, just downloaded an app on the phone to record on.
yeah,
But the way I look at it, when you look at people like back in the day, like Led Zeppelin or something, like badass bands, they recorded on tape. You know what I mean? They recorded on tape. They had no like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So, and so to me, it's like, I mean, yeah, gear is important and all of that, but man, like talent is just, especially when you go like way back. Like if you think about like Elvis or something, right?
yeah.
It was like in the 50s. These people didn't even have like 4 tracks. You know what I mean? It was just everybody would play at one time, and
It's one microphone.
One microphone.
One
You know what I
microphone.
mean? Like yeah.
I think I have a concept of how they recorded in the 50s. I'm not 100% certain, but I think this is how I would do it if I was in the 50s and I would get a spacious room, right? Put the drummer in a corner, put the saxophone player, get the singer, all that stuff. Put the microphone in the middle to make that like reverby sound and like have the whole band playing like unison,
Right.
I feel like that's how they did it. I don't know. I'm not.
You know what I think it was? I agree with you,
Yeah.
but what I think it was, talent.
It was talent.
And and that's one of the things, like that's why when you listen to like that old school stuff and you hear like Frank Sinatra, or you hear like Ray Charles, or you hear like some of these blues musicians from back in the day, it wasn't the equipment, man. Like you could give this guy a crappy Squire guitar and he's gonna play the hell out of that guitar. You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that. La Bamba, Richie Valens.
Right.
Rehearsal. That first band he was in, when he went to the rehearsal, he had this crappy little amp. And obviously it's a movie. It's not like real.
Oh yeah.
But he had this crappy little amp, but he played the shit out of it. And the asshole dude, the saxophone player, he was being an asshole, right? As soon as he started playing that shit, he was like, "Whoa, like damn, this guy has talent,"
Yep.
Like he was blown away.
Yep.
But he was playing on this shitty little amp, but he sounded awesome.
Right.
That's talent right there.
That's talent.
And it showed off his talent right there.
And like Ray Charles, for example, Ray Charles, he started out in the like 50s. He was a black dude. He was from the South. He was blind. He was on drugs. None of that mattered. When he freaking sang and he played that piano, all of the walls fell down.
Fuck
Didn't
yeah.
freaking matter. The talent went straight through that, didn't care, you know. Whereas there could have been some guy that could see, he was white, he had the best equipment, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like that. The equipment really doesn't make you. And then a side note on that, like how you define talent, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, I've thought about it for a long time. Talent to me, all it means is that you really like something.
Yeah.
Because when you really like something, you're gonna practice, and when you
Fuck
practice, that's talent. All it means is, and so like let's just give an example. Let's say there's two people, right, and they're both taking piano lessons. Now one of them, the piano lesson's over, and then they go, okay, piano lesson's over. What he does is he goes bye, and he's gone. The other guy, the piano lesson's over. Okay, but yeah, hold on, let me, because he loves it, and he gets home and he wants to keep. That's talent. The only difference between those two, it's not born innately. Maybe some of it, like your like likes, but when you really like something, anything, you're gonna be that guy that wants to keep doing it even after the lesson's over, even though you don't.
Yeah.
And that's just really what
The
makes
other
it
guy,
good, man.
Yeah.
The other guy, his mom just fucking forces him to take piano lessons.
Right? Yeah,
funny,
he doesn't really want to do it. You know what I mean? He's like, fine, whatever. Then you know, but the other guy keeps doing it, and then whenever that guy plays, everybody's like, whoa. But that's because, you know, it's like a part of him now. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know
True.
if you've noticed, but I play bass like I play guitar. Have you noticed that?
I've seen you play bass. I've never seen you play guitar.
Oh.
But you know what? I kind of, maybe I know what you're talking about because I'm a bass player too. And the way that I came across bass is because I played guitar too. And there would be a few of us, three of us, we had guitars. And I'd be playing the guitar and they'd say, you're playing that guitar like a bass. I think that's kind of what you're referring to. Like I would always find kind of the root notes and I would always kind of find a groove. And they're like, you're playing the guitar, but you're playing it like a bass. And that's
Kind of
what
like
they're
flamenco, basically.
Well, like, no, like say, you know, most people, they're like playing chords or maybe a
Yeah.
lead. And I'd be the guy that said like, do, 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 do. You know, like just kind of finding those root notes and kind of getting the groove going. Just went on guitar and they're like, you're playing bass. Like, I don't know if you know that, but it's a guitar, but you're playing bass. You should just get a bass guitar.
Is that a bad thing? That's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Well, no, you know, well, look, man, I'm sorry. I don't want to make this about myself, but
Yeah.
like just a quick little backstory. I grew up in Spring Branch, and we had these neighbors that would be jamming like los bukis and like cumbias and stuff like next door, but they would be jamming their bass. And so the thing is, I'd be in the house and I couldn't hear everything. All I could hear is boom, 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 you know. And I'd be at the house just doom, 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 you know. And so it kind of, I don't know, like whenever I hear music, I'm always kind of like looking at the bass. So when I would play the bass, I'd just be like, or the guitar, you know, I'd be like do, 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 do,
Yeah.
do, boom, 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 you know, like I don't know, it was just kind of natural.
It's natural.
Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah,
so
you
that's
naturally
really good.
love the bass.
I do.
Yeah, that's
And that's the
awesome.
thing, like even though like I mean I could play like other stuff, the bass, it just, oh man, I love it. And you know, and in a way that the bass, some people think is simple, right? Because you have, it's like you're not playing too many notes.
No.
The thing about it is that for me, the bass is kind of what people dance to. The bass is kind of what people move to. That's,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
The
like-
bass is.
it
Because
gives-
it's the feeling of a
It
song.
gives like a song like backstory.
It gives
to
a
you
song.
can be so
like, the
creative
feeling.
with the bass.
You
Right.
can.
Yeah, yeah. And so then the thing is that like you know, coming from a Spanish background, like on a cumbia, right? That doom 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 boom boom boom. You know, like people are like moving to that, and then so I love that part of the bass where it kind of makes the song kind of move and dance, even though
Yeah.
everything else is. But is that kind of what you were referring to? That you say you're playing the bass kind of like a guitar, or
I mean,
am I way
I
off
always
base?
do.
Huh?
I always do. Omar kind of gets on me about that
What's that?
Yeah.
for playing the bass like a guitar.
Cause like, you know how usually with the bass that you would like move your wrist, but like, no offense, but he plays it like strums.
I mean, I play
Yeah.
it both.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you're like the opposite. I'm playing the guitar like a bass, but you're playing the bass like a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes I kind of just play his chords or whatever.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
root notes.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
That's fire.
Yeah, like for me, it took me a long time to kind of even be able to pick out the bass in a song, you know, because the bass, for most people, they don't listen to the bass. They listen to the vocals, they listen to the guitars. The bass is just kind of there. You're not really.
Yeah, because when he's like playing a song, he doesn't really tell me. I just like look at what he's playing. I just like get it from there.
And just the root notes. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you like listen to hip hop ever? Never, right?
No.
Yeah, probably not hip hop. Okay, well, like the way I kind of look at it is whenever you have it's the drums and the bass go together, right? So like for me, whenever I used to walk home from school, So I'd be walking from school, and then I'd kind of be doing like a beat, like I don't know, because I was bored. I didn't have this is back in the day before,
Yeah.
you know. And so then it'd just be like, you know, it's kind of, and then it just boom 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 boom. You know, like that right there is basically what a beat is. You have your drums, and then you have your bass. You know, and then once you have that, you could build any song over that.
Mm-hmm.
I always look at the bass and the drums kind of like the runway, and then the guitar and the vocals are like the airplane, and then then they take off.
Yeah, like the
you know what I mean. But it's the floor. You
the
know,
bass and the drums just give it the feeling.
right. You know, and it gives it's like the floor and everything. You know, and,
Yeah, like
and when you walk into something, the drums and the bass is kind of like where you're gonna move your head to. You know, that ta ta boom boom ta, and then everything else is kind of on top of that. You know, but you know, you should be able to play the drums and the bass by itself, and everybody just kind of grooves to it, and then you just throw everything. Because if the drums and the bass make you move, then you're winning already, and then everything else is just on top of that.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely.
Most definitely.
But I mean, man, Devin, he's the newest member, and he's a drummer, and you know, I like how y'all all fit in together, and when y'all were talking about trying to find band members. Like, because you know, I was playing guitar. Like I was telling you, I ended up turning into bass.
Yeah.
So now we had 2 guitar players and a bass.
No
But
hate on the
we needed
people.
a drummer. Go ahead. Sorry.
No hate on the people that we had before this, but man, they were shitty compared to Devin.
Yeah, that is true. I remember me and Joseph were really desperate to just find a drummer, you know, that we would just take anybody. Like, we would take them, hey, can you play a 4x4 drum beat? And, like,
Can you do boom, stop, boom, boom, stop,
we
boom?
would take
We
anybody.
recruited a guy.
Yeah.
They would even say, I can learn.
Yeah.
You're not gonna.
That's
learn.
good enough. Come on.
That's good
You're
enough. I mean,
They
Aiden
just need a
said,
drummer.
like, okay, so when I first met Aiden, I asked him, this is the way I asked him to, you know, be the bassist. I asked him, you play any musical instruments? He said, I play guitar. I asked him, like, have you ever played bass guitar? He said, I can learn, but it's kind of an exception because guitar is basically, it's not bass, but it's like
It was
similar,
so
you know?
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
bass isn't easy. Bass can be a lot of
No,
things.
like it was so easy for me just to get on it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, playing the bass is easy. Being good at the bass is
It's-
not
yeah.
easy. You know, it's just a little bit
You've
tougher.
seen people like doing solos on bass.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's true. But man, like some of my favorite bass players, man. Like even if you listen to like some old Motown or, I mean, anything. Most bass, if you just do the groove and then service the song, that's it. You don't really have to be some freaking, you know, jazz doing all this crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like even like a lot of the Nirvana stuff. I mean, the bass isn't now Sublime. Now that's a badass bass player.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does, you know, that's a whole
Yeah.
other level.
That's a
But like
whole nother
Nirvana, but he was right on with that feel, and him
Yeah.
and Dave Grohl would just like lock together to where Kurt would just, you know, just on the background, just doom, 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 you know, and just, you know, yeah, man. He's a great example of like not having to do a whole lot, but still being freaking badass. You know? You know, just being in the pocket and stuff like that.
Just be what's the word? Damn, it starts with a C. How do I forget on the spot? Consistent. There you go.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Stay consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, and it's like a feel, man. I don't know. It's kind of hard to sometimes to explain it, but there, like every song has a feel. You know,
Yeah.
you don't just go dun 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 dun. You know what I mean, unless it asks for that, you know. But even you know, just little changes in the bass, it just changes the whole mood of the song. And you know, I really love the bass, man. Like just you know, especially with songs that have more like yeah, I don't know. Just more. Feel is the only way I could think about it.
Yeah.
Like a groove. You know, there's like a groove to it. You know, but yeah. So you guys, y'all have the show coming up in July. Y'all got this album that y'all are working on. Do y'all have y'all don't really know the date, but I guess y'all would talk about it on social media. So where can people follow y'all? What is your social medias so that?
Well, I'm straight up a bitch. I already
Instagram?
I'm on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's my Instagram. Straight up a bitch.
Soldier.
Soldier.
Sojo ah. And then-
SOULJA.
WHH.
We're gonna have to put it in the comments.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll link it so that people can find y'all.
I'm Post Clarity on Instagram.
And I am 6.
Underscore.
But you can find us on Instagram at I Hate Myself and I Want to Die 23.
Yeah.
23. I hate myself and I want to die. 23. No underscore, nothing. Just 23.
On Instagram.
Okay. That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
because we changed it because when we were playing Arcadia, it said Militia 20.
Yeah, they put us as militia.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's our old stuff.
Yeah.
We might come back to.
We
that.
have one song on the new record. That's a
That's
militia
Militia,
song.
yeah.
It's the first ever militia song. No, because that
Public-
song is just a groove that we made.
Public
like traditional.
Opinion.
That's the first time that we've ever practiced. We played that song. We locked in.
Yeah.
Ever since that song,
That was a good
Yeah.
ass song.
it's a good song. Yeah. It was like it's militia.
And I didn't
all
even
in
know how
one
to
song.
play.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that was kind of the thing that I was talking about earlier, where the hardest thing was to find a drummer. And
Yeah.
there's several things that make a drummer hard to find. One, there's so many pieces, so in order to be able to like transfer it. Two, you got to be able to make a lot of noise, and most people don't have that ability. You need space too and all of that. So, to be able to like the band I play in, our drummer, he's in 5 bands.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody wants a drummer, and he's like, I'm down. He likes different projects or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's really good, man. And and I'm glad that it did kind of click together. I mean, I definitely heard it at the last show, and it was really good, But as long as y'all just keep at it, and really, y'all are on a really good path, because right now in Houston there is an underground punk scene. There is certain
man.
venues that are opening up.
Yeah,
Right now the Compound just shut down, but there's the End, and then there's the Control Room, and then they're open. I'm sure.
Did you shut down?
Yeah, man, they had the roof caved in. It was raining,
Oh shit.
and the roof caved in, and all the rain came in, and then it short circuited all their wiring, so they had to shut it down. But I'm sure they're gonna open something.
Yeah, I'm pretty
else
sure
up,
everyone's just going to the End now.
Yeah, man,
all the shows are moving to the End.
Yeah.
And then the Control Room is now becoming the End, and the End is becoming the Control Room. I mean, the Compound.
Yeah, the End is getting big. Like, there's like a big scene coming on right now on the Houston scene. Like,
Yeah,
like there was a show at the End, and like the line was like
Yeah,
was
like
like
the whole
blocks
block.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They're having a show tonight, actually.
The End
and-
even has they post where to park because it's so
Yeah.
packed.
Well, that's the thing. Like, some of the shows from the Compound are now moving to the End, and so yeah. But that's good,
That's
That's a
good.
good
It's
thing,
great.
man.
More
And-
people to listen to your music.
Yeah, and then I was at Trip 6 last weekend, and that was my first time being over there. It's like 10 minutes from where y'all live, and that place, man, y'all need to go one day. It's all ages, and then it's just like straight up punk rock.
Yeah.
It was great shows, but that's like definitely something to put
It's
on your list of places to play and stuff.
Yeah, everything's coming at the right time right now. I would say, like, I would like to say that we're kind of like the voice for the 2020s, anyways. But since we're doing that, it's like there's like everything happens for a reason. That like the punk scene is coming back on.
That's
And
crazy,
then-
actually, because some people that listen to us, they probably think we're so much older. And then once we play live, they're gonna be like, oh shit, they're fucking 15.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bunch of kids. Yeah.
But everything, I was like, how you said, like, it's very hard to find a drummer. We got found because him.
Yeah.
But
And then
like,
my mom was just like, oh, my friend David has a kid who plays drums. Y'all want to jam with him?
yeah. And
Yeah,
then like since that happened,
out.
like y'all were looking for a drummer, and then I came in at the right time, literally right like
Perfect.
like
We-
1 month after they dropped the album.
Not even 1 month, like
Not
a couple
even.
weeks.
Yeah.
A couple weeks after they dropped Sarah, and then now like this punk scene coming back on. It's just like everything's falling into place,
It's
and everything
falling into
happens.
We
Everything
had-
happens for a reason.
We had a drummer, but his mom was like Christian or something.
Yeah, I feel.
Yeah,
that was
I
really-
feel
I
really
felt
bad
really
about
bad.
that.
Yeah, because I have some friends, and then they were like, I hate myself, I want to die. These guys need some therapy, man. Maybe they should,
Yeah.
they need to get under observation
Yeah,
or
we got
something.
in that about our
Yeah,
That's the name of our band.
John, I will like to firmly apologize for kicking you out the band.
We're so sorry, but
We are very sorry.
we found a better.
It wasn't you. It was your
No,
mom.
that's fucked up. Man.
Yeah, you can't say that, you can't say that, you
That's
can't say
fucked
that,
up.
but
Gotta
John,
be nice.
You could never come to pack.
in the future, we'll jam with you. We promise. We'll jam with
we'll
you.
give you backstage tickets.
We'll give you
Yeah,
backstage
right.
tickets. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's really cool though. That this next album, hopefully, because it's more upbeat, y'all can go and do a Houston tour and just play all the different venues and get
Yep.
it out there and let people hear it. Make some T-shirts, you know, and then people can go and listen to y'all, and that's the thing, So as soon as y'all get it finished, y'all could come out here back again and promote it, and then set up some shows. Really, I should really do like a record release party and stuff,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And
Yeah, we are gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good
yeah.
thing about us like changing genres is that we can't we can find other venues. We can't just strictly be at the ones that
right,
Yeah.
It's kind of harder finding slowcore venues.
Right,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
this upbeat
Yeah.
is really gonna help us.
Definitely.
Heck yeah.
Us changing our music, I feel like we should definitely have a lot of variety in like upcoming projects and stuff.
Yeah, we
Because
should.
it'll open up more opportunities. Because if people that play punk rock, that
we need a punk
have a
rock band to
venue
open
that
for
play
us.
punk rock.
Specific genre festival.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And we'd like to thank Avon Brook, Knuckle Records, everyone that asked us to play at Maxstar Fest.
Most
So
definitely.
that's pretty
We
exciting.
would like to thank
That is a big opportunity.
It is
Shout
a big
them out,
opportunity,
Avon Brook.
especially since the end. Everyone from the compound, everyone's going to the end. It's gonna be
Yes.
big. It's gonna be
Yeah, yeah.
awesome. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely like one of the main spots right now. Trip 6, all of that, and it just so happens it's right over where y'all live, like
Oh,
right
yeah.
down the street. It's on your side of town. So yeah, man. I really look forward to hearing the new album. I really look forward to seeing your next show. I was at your first show. I saw the second show. I saw the improvement. And y'all are on an upward trajectory. Y'all just got to keep at it, man.
Keep
we
the
can't
momentum
slack
going.
off.
Yeah,
once
we can't
No
slack
days
off.
off.
You really can't.
Ever
The second we
since-
slack off is gonna be the worst moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
ever since I don't know, ever since we had that first show, it just gave us a reality check of what we need to work on. And ever since then, we've just been working on it. We've been, a lot better. We've been improving. We've been playing a lot of more music. We've been expanding our music taste and discovering new stuff that we want to do,
Yeah.
like venues that we want to play at, new music, new riffs, all
Like,
sorts of shit.
We know what we have to do to improve, and we're gonna
Yeah.
keep going at it
Yeah.
to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something?
Like from the time when I first went to your studio, it's your studio, right?
Yeah.
Do you think we've improved?
Oh heck yeah, man! Big time, man. A lot. And even your first show. That first show y'all played, and it was mostly just family. And I remember y'all played like I think 2 songs or 3 songs, and you're like, okay, we're gonna take a break now, and and then y'all were
Yeah.
like talking amongst each other between songs, and all of that, and then it was just like, okay, But of course, once you get to Acadia, it's just like
It's real. That's
Yeah.
where it really hits.
Right.
Like that you gotta, look back. Like, oh shit, we've been slacking off this whole entire time, and we're not really ready for this. But we're ready. We've
Yeah.
improved a lot, and I think all the feedback that everyone has gave us really gave us a reality check on when we really need to work on like practicing, rehearsal, or music, all sorts of stuff.
But
So,
it
yeah.
definitely gave us like a boost.
It
gave me
definitely gave us
another reason,
motivation
to, practice.
to
Yeah.
keep pursuing music and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And like if I was to give y'all like one last like little thought about that, me personally, the way I am is anytime I'm gonna go on stage, I get nervous. Everybody gets nervous.
Yeah.
But if you didn't practice, if you should have practiced, that's when you start kicking yourself. You're like, oh man, why didn't I practice? Now you're like really nervous.
Like you get that
And then
realization,
once you
right?
get up on stage and you start messing up, then you're like, oh, I should
Aiden.
have. Whereas
Love
if you
bus.
do practice, of
Buzz.
course, yeah, you're going to get nervous. But at the same time, what you do is you go, yeah, I'm nervous, but you know what? I did practice. I did the best I can.
Hell
This is
yeah.
going to be, it's going to work. And, like I couldn't have done anything else. I did everything I could. And, and it really does just make a huge difference, And so, that's kind of something I wanted to leave y'all with, because y'all got like a long way to go.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to do is have an opportunity and then kick yourself and say, oh, I should have, I could have, because you can't go back no more. The best thing to do is really just prepare. Something I always say is, in order for something to happen, there needs to be two things. You need to have preparation and an opportunity. If you're prepared, but there's no opportunity, nothing happens. If you have an opportunity and you're not prepared, nothing happens. But if you're prepared and you get the opportunity, that's when stuff happens. So, and I've heard everybody like getting better and better, and opportunities are coming up, So it's just keep, sharpening that sword, and then, whenever the opportunity comes, y'all going to be ready.
That's perfect.
So,
what I want to do for this next show, I just want to play one of our, one song from Sarah. And we just surprise everyone with the new album songs.
We want to definitely, people that go to our shows, we want to surprise them with the drastic change of our music, stuff like that.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, we're hoping to have an impact in the music scene, to be noticed and recognized for our talent.
And we definitely are unique in the scene right now, because
we are.
There's no other band that has a name like us, that has a sound like us.
Yeah.
We have our own sound. I feel like we branch out. We're very diverse.
Well, right now, y'all play the show at Acadia, but y'all are mostly studio. But it's gonna be great to see y'all out at the end, out at the we're not the compound no more, control room, different places, Trip 6, and get out there amongst the other bands.
Yep.
And and then you're gonna see, okay, and that's always such a good thing too, because what you want to do is go see other bands that are already doing it, and then you can learn so much from them and be like, oh wow, and then incorporate it. Every single band is influenced by people that came before them.
Yeah.
Every single one. So just how it works. But yeah, man, I look forward to seeing y'all doing more shows, coming and seeing that progression. It's such a beautiful thing to watch y'all, go to the next level, and as long as you keep working at it, y'all are on your way. And then also to hear the new album when it comes out again, whenever y'all finish, y'all could come out and promote it, and then and we could see y'all do that. So
it's gonna be a great album.
Awesome, man. All right, well, thank y'all for being here. Again, we'll put links to all your stuff so that people can see it. July, what day is it?
12.
July 13th.
July 13th. Why can't I say 13th? 13th.
Yeah.
At the end?
Yes.
The end.
At the end. All right, cool. So this has been I Hate Myself, I Want to Die. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and checking out the podcast. Big ups to On It Brewery Podcast sponsoring, On It Productions, and Alaman Image for helping out. And so we're going to keep an eye on these guys, and we'll keep y'all updated with new stuff that comes on.
We'll try to have merch by then.
I can order some of their merch. All right. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.